We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Malik Mustapha, Wake Forest safety, and this guy is pure old school downhill player, box safety type, best tackler in the class. Like, this guy rarely misses a tackle, he gets after it, and to me, he has some of the most fun tape to watch for this. He's great in run support, making open field tackles, doing all the dirty work that you can ask for. Will definitely be a special teams contributor right away. Like, he has that burst, toughness, just the angles, tackling overall that you want from a player. And, that's where I see him making an impact right away. But he's probably like an early day 3 guy, round 4, if I had to guess where he ends up going. Now, he doesn't meet my usual requirements for a safety, because usually I want a guy that can either play, I want 2 of these 3 things. You can play in the box, deep middle of the field, or like come down the slot and man up. And if you can do 2 of those 3, usually you can find, success at safety NFL level. He's more of a box guy, and in coverage, there's some things to be desired. Like, I do think he can do some underneath zone work. Like, he plays with good zone awareness. I just don't think, he has the athleticism to match up in man, or the deep range to play as a deep, center fielder type. I think he can do some work in like a split field look, playing as like a, quarter safety type thing. And then most of his work will be done in the box. But he is super intriguing. He's such an old school style player with a strong safety. Like, he would go so much earlier if he was a draft pick, 15 years ago. But still, really enjoyable film. At least a special teams impact player, and then definitely can find a role in defense in that box safety, strong safety type of role. Maybe it's like a third safety, get him down in the box as a dime linebacker. Closes this ground really fast, takes great angles, and just loves to hit people. It's just littered all over the film. Definitely a downhill guy where he feels most comfortable, not always going backwards. When he does do his best work in coverage, it's usually in an underneath zone where, there's less space to worry about. But he does a nice job overall feeling things out there. He's a pretty instinctive player, as you can see, as him shooting this gap right here, getting downhill in a hurry, playing in like a missile, seeing this space open up, realizing the cutback, anticipating it, and not even slowing down at the point of attack right there. Same as him blitzing, feeling that space, getting downhill, getting a nice hit on the quarterback. Really just enjoying Mustapha's game. And he can play as like a run defender from a deep look and be involved from his alignment, or, more down in the box. He can do it in multiple different ways. He understands his run fit, filling up in this gap, staying tight to it as well, not getting too wide, knows exactly where he's supposed to be, square it up, slow it down, and then, make a nice tackle, form tackle. He can get downhill and play super aggressive, or, he knows when to slow it down, be a little more patient, because he has time and doesn't want to, overrun his gap or anything like that. And he just keeps doing it over and over and over again, even from, here. Fitting into this run defense again, being responsible for this cutback, find it, break downhill very nicely, comes in under control, makes a nice tackle on the Notre Dame running back. Just doing that. And you can see the range on this play. Takes a beautiful angle. He definitely has more range, I feel like, when he's chasing down a ball carrier. He just like, some players end up being faster and more athletic in certain situations for whatever reason. I think, it's a comfortability thing, but when he's chasing down ball carriers, he is flying. When he has to, play on the back end, chase down a receiver, it's that's, and he has to work, away from the line of scrimmage, it's not as fast. But here, he just closes so much ground and absolutely has another punishing hit. I love his play style. He's a very fun player. And I feel like, he's just a player you'd like to have on your team for that mentality. Definitely a fun one. You get him on day 3, and I feel like you feel pretty happy about it. The exact type of role that he'll come in and fit on your team. Like, there's not very many question marks about it either. And he just makes plays down the field. He can be later, not exactly part of the main run fit, being more of the, middle field guy, but still take a great angle and attack running backs out in open space like that, and just clean form tackles, adjust your angle, feel the pace of what they're doing, attack pretty low and through them. He always goes through them. It's really, really fun to see him continually make these plays out in space, and he can be that last line of defense. He has plenty of the tackles that are even farther down the field. Like, he can come down, be definitely a part of the run field, or just, be that last line of defense for you. Feeling this comfortability, close this gap, see that this ball is coming out quickly to this receiver, number 3 on this side of the field. He becomes the new number 3. Mustapha is kind of sitting on it, doesn't gain too much depth. Boom, close the gap, make another nice hit, and look at this form tackle, get low and absolutely slam him. He is just a punisher out there, and it's really nice to see. And this is the type of thing, you know, he can do in coverage when it's things kept in front of him, reading things with his eyes, playing more of like a top-down type style of a safety. He can definitely do that if he's going to play in like a quarter type thing, or just be underneath and be like, you know, a curl flat defender. He can definitely do that for your defense. It's just he's not going to add too much versatility in coverage, which I think is the biggest negative / weakness to his game. But you want a guy that's going to come up and tackle and just consistently make tackle after tackle and fill versus the run, not allow big plays to happen, or, you know, stop the big plays from converting into touchdowns if he's deeper down the field. Mustapha's your guy at safety, and I feel like, you know, someone's going to fall in love with him. Like, some teams will think, you know, he doesn't have the coverage or athletic profile for it, but someone's going to fall in love with his play style, probably an old school defensive coordinator type, because he just consistently makes play after play. Look at him, you know, get down here into the box, be responsible for this gap right here, just fill it up, meet the running back in the hole. It's a pretty big hole here too. You know, many guys could, you know, kind of, you know, make this guy miss this tackle. I've seen it plenty of times. He just makes another consistent tackle, doesn't pull away at all. Mustapha, consistent over and over and over. And he also run the alley really well. Like, you know, whether he's aligned from, you know, the middle of the field, a little deeper, you know, in the split field looks, you know, he sees these running backs working out towards that alley. It can be a receiver screen, whatever. He gets downhill. It can be like a swing, and he takes really good angles in those areas too. So his tackling angles, whether it's in the alley, open field, down within the box, it's all really good. Like, because some players are kind of only good with their tackling in certain situations, or their technique's better. Like, some guys struggle in the open field, but they're good when they're coming down at the alley at a certain angle. Doesn't really matter for Mustapha. He just consistently gets involved and makes these types of plays. Tough nose, physical. Love his style. It's very, very fun to watch him just do this stuff play after play, and also like work through some trash. Like, he really shouldn't be involved when he's aligned here, and this is, you know, working some, you know, pull action away from the opposite side of the field, and he has to adjust this angle down, and he's like kind of seeing if the quarterback's going to pull, so he's slowing down just a little bit, and then still get back over the top, readjust your angle to work around the O-line, and then find the running back on the opposite side of the field, basically near the numbers. And when he was aligned right dead in the middle between the hashes, very, very impressive. And like, it's not like the running back was that far down the field. He was just a few yards past the line of scrimmage. So that's really, really nice. Love watching Malik Mustapha make these types of plays. Probably one of my favorite safety plays on film was the first play that I showed, you know, closing from depth, making a play in the backfield, aligned 10-ish, about 10 yards away from the line of scrimmage. That's just a quick trigger. His trigger downhill is really, really nice. Anticipation, showing off really good feel for the game. Understands just the flow of this play, what's going on, because you can just see his angle right away. He's kind of going towards this clump, but sees that this space open up, feels it, and then hits him exactly where he ends up being on the cutback. Beautiful stuff. So Malik Mustapha, really, really fun player. Old school style. Best tackler in the class, in my opinion. Maybe at any position, not even just safety, but really, really fun to watch. So if you guys do, make sure to like. Peace.